Hi, this is my father, Lindsay Henley, and he's going to talk to us today about his invention for building the pyramids back in Egypt.
Yes, well, we were in Egypt earlier this year, and I was looking at the pyramids, and looked at them and I said they shouldn't be that complicated. There's so many theories out there of how the pyramids were built. And I thought about this and I said this should not be so complicated. So I've come up with this, basically what I call a gantry. It relies on three basic principles. This part of it here is the tumbling gantry, which just tumbles from side to side. This part here is what I call an inverted lever. So it pulls down rather than a lever twist like that. And the other basic principle that we're relying on is mechanical advantage. Now, that brick there weighs 5 kilos. So if I pull directly down on that, it takes 5 kilos of downward pressure to lift the brick. I have now on this lever here a mechanical advantage of 5 to 1. So if I push down on that, it now only takes 1 kilo of downward pressure to lift 5 kilos. I have a second lever here which creates another mechanical advantage of 3 to 1. So if I push down on that now, it only takes 333 grams of weight to lift 5 kilos. The pyramids, an average, if we transfer this to if that rock now was 5 tonne, it would basically take 333 kilos to lift a 5 tonne block. Approximately in life size, that would lift that approximately 1 foot per lift. Now, the average weight of a block of stone on the pyramids was 2.5 tonne. So we halved that. So it would take about 170 kilos of weight, downward weight, to lift a 2.5 tonne block. So if two men stood on that lever, they could quite simply lift a 2.5 tonne block. Now, what you would do then as you're lifting, you would lift it approximately, which would lift it approximately 1 foot. You would put layers of timbers underneath that as you're going up. And once you got each, in Egypt, the average height of the block is roughly a bit over a metre, around about 4 foot. So it would require roughly 4 lifts. All you do then is shorten this rope by 1 foot each time, and you would basically lift one rock in 4 lifts. It would take, my thoughts would probably take a team of 7 to 10 men per gantry to operate this machine. What you would do then is once you've lifted your 4 foot up in the air, you would then have it on, it would put timber rollers onto it, and you would manually push that block along timber rollers onto the next level. You would have another one of these exactly the same as this on the next level. There would be another team doing exactly the same thing on the next level, and they would push it onto the next level, and you would have a series of these things going up, stepping up as you are building your pyramid. It would be built out of all natural resources that were common on the Nile. This would be papyrus, made out of papyrus rope. Papyrus is a natural weed that grows along the Nile, and it makes probably the best rope in the world. So it's a natural resource. This framework would be just made out of timber. The Nile River was covered in palm trees along the river and along the delta. So palm was very plentiful at the time. Very easy to assemble this out of palm. It would be pre-made and disassembled somewhere else. You would take the whole thing on site and it assembled it on site, so very easy to move. This is basically how I would, this is my theory of how I would build or lift a stone to build the pyramids, and it's just my theory. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks, Dad. Thanks for sharing.